Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of December 24th, 2024 to 7th of January 2025. This is a reading if you are Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising, or have another significant Capricorn placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you, and if you're returning, welcome back. Excuse me, there was a sneeze that came in there. It was unexpected. I'm doing this reading, if you are familiar with this channel, up in my room today on a much smaller table, just because it has been very, very cold downstairs. I have stone floors or at least a stone foundation underneath the floors, and so it's been very cold to work down there. So I'm just doing my readings upstairs for these couple of weeks, and maybe this will be a little wintry thing that I end up doing. Do check in the description box below if you want to book a reading with me. I have gift cards right now available through the 31st of December. Get $20 off a half an hour reading. And you can also book annual readings with me for $50 off my usual hourly rate right now through the end of January 2025. Plus, I'm offering a lot of classes and some other things. And I have other services like path charts, healing services, spiritual coaching. All of that's at my website, which is in the description box, as well as a link to my social media, which is mainly my Instagram account. I do have a Facebook account, but I do a daily live stream, or mostly daily live stream, on Instagram. So, so that's all the business I have out of the way. Let's get on to your reading. Interestingly, Capricorn, okay, so you've got the Wheel of Fortune here in the first house. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card that indicates that there's change that's happening to you in your identity that is a result of something that it's not something in your conscious control. You are very well aware that you are changing and that you need to expand your horizons. With Sirius here, there's a sense here that you are, you could be, there's a sense here that you need to kind of deprogram the mind. You need to think differently about things, looking at the world with a bit of an unbiased mind. Physically speaking, sometimes Sirius comes up when we're kind of obsessed with how we look, or, if we want to do diet, exercise, things like that. That can also be a factor here. But there just seems to be something here. There's like a turning point here that is making you think differently and work on yourself in a different kind of a way, whether this has to do with mental activity or physical. Now, your second house looks good because you have the Earth card here. So when Earth shows up in the second house, this is definitely an indication of money coming in. Because this is the house of Taurus, this is the card of money, and this is Earth is the card of money. So you've got the house of money, the card of money, but you have it with the Four of Swords. So Four of Swords tends to happen when we're either focused on healing. So I don't know if this means you're spending money on healing services or self-care services, or if you're just withdrawing right now and spending some time thinking about things. My impression here is that there's a sense of security that you're going to be having financially that's going to allow you to focus a little bit more on yourself and on what you need for your own benefit. Or certainly if you're saying that's not the case, then perhaps it's saying that is something you do want to focus on. Now, the third house has to do with Gemini energy. This is messages, things that are coming to you. And also, if you're self-employed, this could be about sibling relationships, short journeys. I mean, there's everything ruled by Mercury here in the third house. Now, you've got Lotus with the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So it seems to me there's been some anxiety here. Maybe it's going to be different for everybody in a general reading, but this could be messages that you've received lately. This could have to be around family, siblings, if you have them. Could be around your own business. And as I said, I don't know if it's about a short trip that you have to take that maybe is causing some anxiety. But when Lotus shows up, it generally indicates we need to calm the mind about something. And Seven of Pentacles is this card of reevaluation and also patience. There may be something that we are hoping for that just there's been delays. Maybe it hasn't been happening for us yet. This can also be coming up when we feel that we need to think about where we're putting our energy and make some decisions about where we might want to do things differently. So, so it does seem like there's some reevaluation that's going on. Perhaps this is a back and forth with people. And again, this is a period of time with a lot of the astrological things going on. We've come out of Mercury retrograde, but we're not out of post-shadow until January 3rd. Mars is still retrograde. Neptune has gone direct, but we still have Uranus retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. So there's a lot going on right now where things may not be moving ahead at the speed that we would like them to, and there's a lot that we have to think about here. Now in the family house, though, we have the twins with the Three of Cups. So I think this is, okay, so this could be, the focus could be right now on a family relationship. Now, the fourth house is the house of the mother. So for some of you, this could literally have to do with your mother. But with the Three of Cups, I feel like there's something celebratory here. So I don't know if people are getting together for, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever the holiday is that you celebrate. It does seem like there's something about family gatherings or get-togethers. And there does seem to be a particular relationship that's highlighted. Though with the Three of Cups, there could also be a third party involved. I don't know. I mean, all the energy here it's cup energy. It's nice energy that kind of flows. So I don't feel like this is necessarily a negative kind of thing, like that there's a problem with this relationship. I don't know. With what we're seeing here, maybe some of this reevaluation and so forth could have to do with our family relationships and how we are trying to reconcile them, or perhaps trying to come together as a group, and perhaps whatever the family situation is, perhaps there's just a nice feeling of celebration here around the holidays, which is nice because that doesn't always happen for people around the holidays. Sometimes people will talk about how the holidays can be more of a trial, but yeah, this definitely looks like kind of a nice energy of connection here. Sometimes the twins in this house can mean moving in with somebody, because it can literally have to do with your house, or if you're married, I mean, or married or have a significant other who's moving in, like there's all of that kind of a thing too, or maybe even taking in a roommate is also possible here as well. Whatever it is, it does seem like it's a cause to celebrate. Now I'm going to jump over to your houses connected to job and health. Now your job house is the sixth house. I call it the job house. It's the house of service. And I tend to think of this as the house that has to do with the work that we do for others. Okay. It can also, like I said, does have to do with health matters, sometimes with pets and things like that as well. Okay, so you have Bast, again, all these very social cards. Bast with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups brings emotional messages, okay? It can bring love messages, and it can also bring messages that are connected to just things that give us pleasure, things that we enjoy, allowing us to be vulnerable, allowing us to connect with our emotions. So I don't know if you're doing some kind of service work that puts you out in the community in this way. Bast has a lot to do with mental health. In terms of the way that we feel, Bast typically comes up when we have psychosomatic illness, when there's things that we're feeling that are more connected to our stress levels. So, but Page of Cups does bring good news. And interestingly, in the 10th house, you actually have the Two of Cups. So I don't know. There's a lot here. You've got this twin energy in the 10th and the 4th house. So I don't know whether this is a family connection. I don't know whether this is a love match. For some of you, maybe you're actually going to have a partner, or it could be a romantic or long-term partner that maybe you're meeting through your work or through your career. That could be a factor here, because Thoth definitely implies something that is happening at the right time. There's almost a sense of destiny when Thoth shows up. And with the Two of Cups, it's almost like a destined kind of a partnership. Now, if you're saying, well, this doesn't have anything to do with love and romance, I mean, it's just interesting that you have the Page of Cups and the Two of Cups. Both of these seem to imply something having to do with love. And Bastet is a card of happiness, can be a card of sociability and pleasure. And again, you have another card of sociability down here. So I don't know. I feel like for somebody here, there could be, like I said, this could be a recent, we'll look at your relationship houses in a bit, but I don't know if there's somebody that you're working with on something, and maybe it's something either you're passionately dedicated to, or maybe the two of you have an intimate bond over what it is that you're working on. If your love relationship isn't connected to this, then I would suggest still that this is somebody who have a strong emotional bond, who is coming in at the right time. And it's kind of like your work with that person is going to be very visible. It seems like it's leading to heart opening in some way, or it's leading to, or even just at the most basic levels, just something that you have a sense of emotional satisfaction with. The kind of work that we do, I mean, sometimes we do it out of a sense of, oh, well, this pays the bills. It's not always something that we do out of a sense of emotional satisfaction. So it definitely feels like you're working towards this healing kind of energy. And actually, if I look back at the Four of Swords in the second house, this could actually be money that's made from some kind of healing proposition. Thoth can also be medical in nature. So I don't know. Some of you may be getting more into healing work. That may be specifically true for some people. Or there's something that you're getting involved with, either with a partner who you deeply care about, and it could be somebody who just deeply cares about the same thing that you do. In any case, there's a strong emotional component to the work that you're going to be doing, Capricorn, which is interesting because you're very much an earth sign, kind of Saturn ruled, plotting, persistent, but there's a sense here of connecting and working with someone else. So that's very interesting here. Let's just go ahead and look at the relationship houses since this is showing up. Wow, yeah. You've got Pyramid showing up in the 5th house. So if you're not married and you're looking to date, I mean, this seems to be something that comes after a period of time. I mean, Pyramid seems to indicate a test period with something. Even it could be an ordeal, it could be a test, or just something that's taking time to build up. But you have it with the Star. So the Star indicates almost like a wish fulfillment. And again, there's this sense of being open and emotionally vulnerable when we see the Star here. But there's a lot of good possibilities. There could be a few tests with something, but there's a lot of possibility here. And if we go to your 7th house of relationship, you have Osiris with the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, with Pyramid, I feel like some of you maybe are involved with somebody. Maybe right now it's somebody who you work with. But it seems like there's the potential here to grow a solid relationship. But Knight of Pentacles, remember, is very slow moving, as is Pyramid. So this suggests to me that there could be a relationship that's building up slowly and steadily. Maybe more of a work relationship at first, maybe dedicated to the same cause, and then eventually building into something that's stronger and more solid. And again, you being an earth sign, I think that's probably, and ruled by Saturn. When you're ruled by Saturn, and it will depend on what house Saturn is in your chart, where your Capricorn sun is, yeah, or Capricorn, whatever. I mean, it could be your rising sign, it could be a lot of things, but wherever it is, Saturn rules, and this can mean that you want to do things more slowly and steadily. A lot of possibility here, but do things more slowly and steadily to have something longer term. If you were already married, then the implication here is that something that you're working towards, again, though, has a lot of possibility and may take some time. And perhaps this is showing a spouse who is very grounded and supportive and has good judgment with Osiris. So again, take it as it resonates for you, depending on your situation. Now let's look at the 8th house. This is your house of transformation. And interestingly, a lot of people have Hathor here. So for some of you, this could be a female that's involved in transformation in some way. Again, whether this is a mother figure, whether this is a wife, whether this is a female friend. I mean, I don't know. There's a strong feminine energy. This can also be, if it's not referring to a female specifically, an energy of cleaning out and clearing out. Okay, sometimes Hathor comes up when we need to get things organized. There's kind of a very strong Virgo vibe to it. So you are preparing for something is what I feel like. And with the 7 of Wands, this is an energy, there could be some stress and anxiety here. And remember, we are seeing this over here in the 3rd house. This is actually, you have another 7 here. You have a 7 and a 7 here. So this is an energy of trying to stand your ground, trying to build something. 7 of Wands is where we often feel like we have to defend our position and what it is that we're doing. But 7 of Wands can also sometimes come up when we are resistant to, we're too stressed out, where we're trying to take too much on ourselves as well, or when we are too anxious about changes and about doing things. So it can kind of go either way. But I feel here like this is more like your determination to empty out the old, to try to put yourself in a space. And also with Hathor, there's this strong vibe of wanting to build something that lasts, whether it has to do with a relationship, whether it has to do with your home. I feel like this is a very strongly domestic energy when Hathor comes up too. So there's a sense here of I want to build a space where I can share with others and where I feel like I belong. And where things are, organized and under control in a way where you feel secure, okay? So there's a lot around security here. Now, this is opposite your 2nd house, and sometimes this can have to do with joint finances as well. So for some of you, this Hathor energy could have to do with a female whether it's a family member or somebody else who is connected to your finances. Maybe it's something where you have to stand your ground on if there has been any kind of change to that. So again, that sounds much more specific, but however it resonates for you, take it as it does. Now let's look at your 9th house, which is Sagittarius energy, and you have the Magician with Isis. Okay, so Isis is about having patience for something. The 9th house has to do with how we're expanding our horizons. It's Jupiter energy. Now remember, Jupiter's retrograde, but the Jupiter house is about long distance travel. It's about higher education. It's about spirituality. It's about all the things that allow us to learn new things, about freedom. And the fact that this is here, some of you may actually be trying to learn about things that are a little bit deeper emotionally or more mysterious or a little more esoteric. But for some of you, you could even be learning things that have to do with the mothers. Like I've seen this card show up here for people who train as doulas or midwives and things. That's a possibility for some people. But again, I think that's very specific. But with the Magician, there's the sense of you are trying to manifest something. And maybe you're trying to manifest something at a distance. Maybe you're thinking about going back to school. Maybe you've been engaged in spiritual practice, or maybe you're just trying to free yourself from something. Whatever it is, there's something that you're working towards, and it is telling you that it's going to require some patience and some self-care here. There's a lot around healing, connection, and care in this reading. So that's very interesting. So as you're evaluating things, I think that's something you need to keep in mind. So let's look at the 11th house, which is your house of friendship, and also of your destiny and what you're trying to manifest. And okay, you've got the Knight of Wands with the Crook and Flail. Now, Knight of Wands indicates things happening very, very fast. There could actually be a trip with this one because Knight of Wands often has to do with travel, but there's a restlessness to it. And Crook and Flail reminds you to be disciplined in whatever it is that you're doing. Like I said, you're Saturn ruled, so there's a sense of don't try to take shortcuts with something. I'm seeing that in regard to relationships, and I think even in regard to work. Like you're building something, there's a chance, I think, to partner with somebody to do something that really matters, and this person might also be a love connection. But Knight of Wands always says, I know you're ready to go ahead, but you want to take that intensity of that energy and make sure you're channeling it into a certain amount of self-discipline so that you are, it's not, you have a plan, you know what I mean? That you know what you're doing when you're going forward. You're not just kind of charging blindly into something, which is what the Knights tend to do. And with the Crook and Flail here, I feel like, this could be increased visibility for you in your social network and among people. This could also be somebody who is very recognized within your friend group who comes in to help out. And maybe for some of you, that's this person. Maybe this person is this is fire, so it could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but it does not have to be. There's just definitely this energy here of wanting to move ahead, but I feel like it's saying to you, things are going to move for you, but nonetheless, it's going to be more of a persistent plodding rather than a you may be ready to rock and roll in a move, but it's you need to take your time a little bit, or just to think before you act, basically. Okay, so your 12th house, which is your Pisces energy. Okay, you have Horus with the Queen of Wands. Oops, that was interesting. That flipped. Okay, so Horus, again, we have this energy of healing. And this also has to do with family matters a lot of the time, or just our ability to rise above a situation, like how we feel we're able to muster the heroics. There's strong Leo energy with this. And with the Queen of Wands, again, there's more fire. Queen of Wands is a woman who is beautiful, who is ambitious. And it's interesting that you have a very similar type of woman over here in the 8th house. So there's this strong feminine energy, and all the queens reflect Taurus, usually, just as Hathor does. So I don't know. There's definitely a sense here that you want to, there's a push towards healing. There may be healing that's going on unconsciously here, and definitely a determination to shine, to be seen, to satisfy your ambitions. But in the 12th house, the path forward may not really be clear right now. And that may be why you need to take some time. Maybe consult with some people who are experts on what you're doing. And it does seem like whatever this is, you're not going to go it alone. And the attachment to whoever you're working with, it might be your spouse, doesn't have to be, or your partner, whoever your partner, your love partner is. but it could also just be somebody who also has a deep love for the same thing that you're doing, okay? Now, overall, we have the Ten of Wands with the Ankh. So yeah, there's definitely a focus on love here. There's Capricorn, there's a whole theme here around relieving your stress levels and making sure that you're focused on where your heart is. A lot of people are getting this kind of thing now. And so whether this heart focus has to do with love per se, in terms of a person that you love, or whether this is just you acting and creating out of a space that is the heart space. Okay, this is definitely about focusing more on being alive. And it does seem to me that there's either a healing that's going on right now, or you may be doing work to help heal others. And that this may be perhaps where your passion lies. Or at least once you're healed, maybe your focus is going to be more on your passion and working with other people's, operating out of a love space. And when I say love space, I don't necessarily mean a romantic love space. Again, maybe for some people it is, but with the Ten of Wands, there's a sense that you're feeling overburdened right now, and that this is like, you want to drop these burdens, you want to drop, Pluto had just moved out of Capricorn. So I think there's a sense here that we are moving into a space where it's not all just about, working 80 hours a week and making a ton of money. It's about what actually means something to us, and what do we feel gives our lives meaning, connects us with others, and helps us feel like we're being of service to others in some way. But it does seem like you're going to connect with somebody in this way. Like, you are fundamentally changing and thinking about things differently. So let's draw an Oracle of the Fairies card just to kind of sum this reading up and see what we have. This is Capricorn from December 24th to January 7th. Oh, here we go. Okay, our card is Tree Wisdom, and let's read what it says. See if I can get enough light. The Tree Dryad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sounds that it makes. Okay, well, something like this suggests to me, like, there's definitely a strong connection to nature here. So this to me has to do with grounding, connecting to nature, hearing this. But hearing the song of nature is also kind of about this. It's not all about focused on all of the things that we have to think about in, the rush of the modern world, but rather, how do we connect with our heart and how do we connect with nature? I feel like that's kind of the message that we're seeing here. Like, there's a need to hear the music of things. I think that's part of what we are seeing here. So yeah, so there's definitely a sense of taking time to socialize, spend time with others, focus on where your heart is, and focus on connecting with others. I feel like those are the kinds of decisions that you are making right now, Capricorn. And understand that whatever it is you're trying to build is going to take a certain modicum of time. And slow and steady is what wins the race here. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about future videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.